You know that Rashi brings down this week's Parsha, famous Rashi, that says that Yaakov wanted to live in tranquility. The Parsha starts with Yeshiva Yaakov. Yeshiva Yaakov means he wanted to rest. L'chor, he wanted to rest. So Rashi says that's exactly when all the problems came. When Yaakov wanted to rest, all of a sudden they had the whole problem with Yosef. The Rashi brings the Midrash, and the Midrash says, the righteous with which to live in tranquility. Hashem said, what? Are the righteous not satisfied with what's prepared for them in the world to come? They seek tranquility in this world? What do you mean they want to rest? They're going to get the next world. Why do they want to rest now in this world? They're not satisfied with the next world. Why do they want to rest in this world? So both Rav Chaim Shmulevich and his Rebbe Rucham, they both asked the same question. What rest are we talking about here? What do you mean the rest of Yaakov? Yaakov was the one who didn't sit down for 14 years learning Torah. It says, he didn't sit down. We're talking about Yaakov Avinu. We're talking about him, the one who worked hard by Lavan. He did everything right. He's not a person who wants to rest. He says, and Rabbi Yerucham says, wait, the rest is the rest that we think. Chalila, he says, Chas v'shalom, we should think that the rest that Yaakov wanted is the rest that we want. We're not talking about rest. We're talking about learning 24/7. We're talking about he wanted menuchas and nefesh in order to be able to sit and learn. That's what he wanted. He didn't want to rest like the taivas, like we think. It's a big kasha. So what's the Kadosh Baruch Hu's time? Why is Hashem says what the tzaddikim they also want the rest in this world. They want them in the next world also. They're going to rest in the next world. Well, let them have a hard time here. So what's the time? But I just want to be able to serve you, Hashem. I just want to be able to do the right thing. Just give me my needs. Give me the MCE to be able to serve you in the right way. That's what I want. Hashem says no. So the answer is, a person has to see. There's a different way of. It's a mind-blowing idea here. Really, that we have to look at life differently. We think life is about having nice things and doing good things and having a good time. You know, I mean, that's really what we think life is about. And that's our goal, right? To be able to sit and learn and have a little bit of ruchnius, and we'll also have the gashmius, we'll have everything. And life is about having a good time. But that's not what life is about, according to this. He says, Tov lo, he brings the perfect Yavos. Tov lo la'adam davar echad, but tsar, m'meya berevach. Better one thing done with tsar than 100 things done with reva, or space. The purpose of serving Hashem in this world is dafka, just the opposite. Hashem dafka wants to put obstacles, he wants to put things that block us from serving him. And that's the way that we're going to come to the higher level. So we shouldn't be, why are we searching constantly for the good life, everyone, the American dream? The American dream, according to this, is a nightmare. It's not an American dream. It's a nightmare. Because the whole goal of this world is to have these obstacles, to have these things that stop us, to overcome them, to really have a gimli milsa of who we really are. That's what brings out who we are. I'll go more into detail with it. Another thing, another prakiyavos. Pas v'mach tocha. The only way to get Torah is through, you have to have minimalism. Minimalism. You have to work hard. You have to take away your sleep. You have to be not into tithes, not into food. That's the only way Torah is going to be acquired. It's a gula. I don't want to say it's actually a chelik of the Torah. The Messiah nefesh is in the Torah. So he brings out a story here. I believe it's a midrash. Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. It says one time one of the talmidim of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai went to Chutz La'aretz. He came back with all his gold, and all the talmidim were saying, "Hey, what's going on here?" This guy is like, we also want to go. Rebbe, we want to go to Chutz La'aretz also to make a lot of money. He says, "Listen, I got a better idea. I'll take you over here to this valley next to Meron." And went to Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, did some kind of thing, and he filled up the valley with gold coins. Filled with gold. And he says to that talmidim, "Take whatever you want. Go ahead, take. You want money? Take." So he says, "But you should know, if you take, whatever you take, you're taking away from your Lomabah. You can take, but you're taking away from the Lomabah." So this is an extra idea. Not only is it that we need the Mesiras Nefesh in order to produce the purity and the bringing from what's inside, bringing it out, through the hardships that we have, reaching our potential. But also, if we take things that we don't need, we're taking away from our Olam Haba. If we are running after this world and we think we're going to have a nice house, we're going to have a nice car, and we're running after those things, and really we're taking things that we don't need. The point is like this: if you take things that you don't need, do you need that? Do you need that car? Do you need that house? Do you need that thing? Do you need that vacation? Do you need it? If you really need it, because what the hell, you can have it. That's no problem. If you really need it, the person needs to rest. The person needs to sleep. The person needs to eat. It says in the Gemara, it says a nice house that gives menuchas and nefesh. Nice house, beautiful wife, nice house, brings a menuchas and nefesh to a person to be able to have Yeshiva das, to be able to sit and learn. But if you're taking things more, you're taking away from your level above. Problem is also when you see a lot of it is it's social. The neighbors have it, like the neighbors have this, and the neighbors have that, and their kids have this, and their kids have that. So then you feel like I need it also. The whole society here is built on all these false needs that we don't even need. That's what the whole society, that's what we're living. It's all built on these ideas and things that we don't need, and all of a sudden we need them. And he actually brings a raya for this for Rabbi Yeshiva. It's very interesting. He brings the famous story about Rabbi Yeshiva and Rachel, and they had mamish nothing, and she was a rich girl, and they were sleeping on the floor. All they had was straw. So what happened? All they had was straw. Matzah was very bad, right? But they know nothing. So all of a sudden, Hashem sent Eliyahu Nava to the door to knock on the door. Knocks on the door. He says, "Listen, I'm the neighbor over here. My wife's giving birth. Maybe you have some straw. We don't have straw in our house." At that point, it says Rachel turned to Rabbi Akiva and says, "Go learn. Go learn." You see, they don't even have straw. So you see, it's based on the relativity what you think you need and what you have to have, what you need and what you want are two different things. But you see, the neighbor, once you realize the neighbor didn't even have straw, he said, I have straw. I'll be saying, go learn, everything's okay. I'll call Beseder. Rabbi Yerucham wanted to say, what did it mean when Yaakov said that Taryag mitzvahs, the Chazal tells us, and he says, Garti, I need Garti by Lavan, I need Garti, I lived. So we know that the gematria of Garti comes out to 613 mitzvahs. I kept the mitzvahs. So he wants to say, it wasn't just that Yaakov kept the mitzvahs. Okay, you kept the mitzvahs, Beseder, you went to a difficult place, you kept the mitzvahs. It means I kept the mitzvahs under the most difficult, hardest circumstances. That's what it means. With Lavan, and Lavan is tricking me. And I was straight. I was Yeshar the whole time. I did the right thing all the way through. No matter how hard it was, I did it. That was the Taryag mitzvahs. That's why they also, I believe there's a chazal that this is actually what he said to Esau, right? That he kept talking about. That was to scare Esau. Listen, I've been through it, and I'm holding in a high place. And I worked on myself to keep all these mitzvahs under unbelievable circumstances. So Rav Yerucham says like this. He says, Lavan was the core of Barzel. He said it was like the furnace. Living with Lavan and keeping the mitzvahs, being straight, was like a furnace. And then he says like this. And you know what he says? That since if a person realizes that this world, that's the tachlis of this world, the tachlis of this world really is, it's supposed to be hard. That's a hard idea. It's supposed to be hard. That's a tremendous chiddush. This world is supposed to be hard. And once a person realizes that it's supposed to be hard, he says that he's going to have. He's going to have a totally different look of life. Every situation he's going to look at the opposite. And the answer is going to be, the question will be, after you went through the hard time, how did I matzliach? Was I matzliach or not? How did I pass through the hard time? It's a whole different way of looking at life. You have these hardships that are just coming one after the next. All these things are happening. I mean, everybody should have a bracha, and everybody should have good things. But really, in a certain sense, the brachas are really just to get you to be able to face the reality of growth. It's all about growth. I saw something about a girl who lost both her legs, and she became the #2 Olympic snowboarder or something like that. And she said that limitations are just meant to grow from. That's why Hashem gave us our limitations. Instead of saying, look over our limitations, say, I have this limitation, I don't have this, and I don't have that. What am I going to do? I don't know, but the limitations are there. That's your starting point. Those limitations are where Hashem wants you to start. This sorrow, this suffering, this thing that's happening, that's what Hashem wants you to grow from. You should take that thing and grow from it. And that is a completely different perspective of life. And that's how a person reaches potential. Because otherwise, what are you going to say? I don't have this, I don't have that. I don't know. Those places that you have are there for you to grow. And if you don't realize what your limitations are, and if you don't face the sorrows head on, then you're just going to get killed off. You're not going to grow. That's it. I'm never, what can I do? I have this kind of kids, this kind of wives, I have this kind of friends. I'm in this kind of yeshiva. What can I do? No, it's just there to show you the reality that you have to grow. And that's what really, at the end of the day, that's the answer to the question. It says that Yaakov wanted to live b'shalva. And Hashem said, what are you talking about? That's not what life is about. That is not what life is about. Life is about facing adversity, facing hardships, facing tragedies, low and low. Not that we, God forbid, should wish any of these things on anybody. I mean, everybody should have a bracha. Everything should be good. But whatever we have, that's there for us to face, and that's our growth. It's actually a very positive word. It's a very, very positive word. And it also, on the other hand, we talked about that a person should not be running after Olam Hazeh, because everything he's trying to take that he doesn't deserve, and he's trying to get on off from this world, he's taking from this next world. Because the whole point of this world is to grow, not to... See, what happens, we cushion ourselves, that's what society, modern society is there to cushion all this stuff, protect ourselves from all this stuff. Pile ourselves up with money. Pile ourselves up with money, we live in societies, we don't have to relate so much, everybody's in their own house. You don't have to protect yourself from this stuff. And what's the opposite? It's like a joke, I'm this religious guy, So the religious guy goes to Yeshiva, he has all these kids, and he's not working. What's going on? He's crazy. He's crazy. He's not working. He's having kid after kid. He has to be in the yeshiva 3 sedarim a day. In the morning, his wife is over there slaving away. What kind of religion is this? I had a friend. It's a great joke, but when his wife was complaining before the Chagim, he says, "Oh, it's so hard. I can't stand it anymore. It's Erev Pesach. We're cleaning and cleaning. Erev Pesach, it's so hard to clean up the thing. And the kids, when you have a lot of kids and you're cleaning for Pesach, and the kids are like running around with their baffles and their bumpers and the pressure becomes tremendous. I don't know if you know Erev Chagim and Sukkot also. The pressure could grow and grow to like where it's about to put sets. So he says to his wife, "Oh, honey, don't worry. Everybody hates the Chagim." So there's a side to that. It's true, you hate it, but it's there for a reason. It's there for you at that point to keep you cool. At that point where you're about to burst, you know what I mean? So that's when you're going to do the tikkun amidos. You can do tikkun amidos whenever you're sitting in a nice restaurant and having a nice time, people are serving you food, you're driving in a Mercedes, you're going to do tikkun amidos. No, the tikkun amidos is when the pressure is ad shemayim and you got 15 things going on, and you still say, okay, you're nice to the person. You get up there's famous stories, you get up in the middle of the night to help them. Hillel. The guy's bugging him and bugging him. Why was he Hillel? He's Hillel because he was able to, after 15 times, he still kept his cool. He did not lose it. He did not get angry. But he's only going to be Hillel if it happened one time, it's a big deal. It's only when you reach the edge. It's when you reach the edge, that's where the growth is. So the word is a very positive word. We have to look at life in a very, very positive way. We have to look at all of our sorrows are really just growth experiences. And Hashem wants us to grow. And we shouldn't try to run from them. Don't run. We're running. Don't try to cushion yourself up with other things. A person can drink, a person can smoke, a person can do all kinds of things in order to handle the pressure. I agree, you have to handle the pressure. But the real truth is that also part of the answer is also the Torah itself gives menuchos nefesh. It's like my Rebbe says, how did the Jews survive the Holocaust? The answer was the Torah itself. The answer is when even you have lachat, you have problems with the wife and problems with the kids and problems with money and all these different problems. When you sit down and you learn, it's a different world. And you get involved in it. It goes then you have new problems. You have problems in the Gemara. But those problems are problems that you can handle. The Rebbe used to say, if you take care of God's problems, God will take care of yours. So what does that mean? If I take care of the problems in the Gemara, if I make those problems in the Gemara, those are also problems. With the ritva, right? Those are problems. But if I take those problems, I take them upon myself, so it's a limited amount of problems I'm going to have. If I take on the problems in the Gemara, so I'm working out my problems with the Gemara. And Hashem, that's what it means, that the person gets a bracha on the outside, he gets all these brachas, all these things come. And therefore, because he's growing and learning, if a person decides to grow in learning, he doesn't have to grow with all these sorrows. That's the pitaron here. I'm not saying no. Also, big people who sit and learn, they also have bigger problems. But you're able to handle, you have the kelim, you have the tools, the ability to handle these things. But if you grow and you really take on the problems of the Gemara, that's the end. In terms of learning, that is the thing that's going to separate a person from making it or not making it. Do you take that problem home with you? You have to sit at night and think about the problem. These are big people. These are Achronim, Rishonim. These are big thinkers. They were thinking about this stuff for hours and hours. If you don't take the problem home with you, you're not going to get anywhere. You'll sit here and you'll listen and you'll say, okay, very nice. It's good. But if you want to grow, you have to take those problems and make the Gemara's problems your problems. And when you're that, you get a bracha. Because you're growing. That's what Hashem wants. Hashem wants us to grow. Okay.